Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Day 7, Journey to Bush's Champion. There's nothing as healing as the human touch. Those are Bobby Fischer's final words before he passed away in Reykjavik, Iceland. Some of you may know about his life story, but the reason he ended up in Iceland was that he was jailed in Japan because the US revoked his passport, and they're trying to extradite him. But thankfully, Iceland granted him citizenship, asylum, and he's able to come to Reykjavik, Iceland, in return to the country where he achieved his 1972 historic victory. So in today's video, I played Title Tuesday. So we're going to be going through some of my games from Title Tuesday, some of my games from recent matches, and I'll probably include my reaction to Gotham Chess. And then we're also going to talk about a big scandal with chess.com, with how due to a disconnection, I have lost 11 rating points. So we had a King's Indian. He goes weird h5 trading. I go b4, controlling the c5 square. a5, a3, h4, rook b1, takes, king f8, queen comes in, knight comes in, castles, knight h5. Now I want to get some counterplay on the a file because he's trying to, start an attack. Take, g5, rook a8. I'm pinning now, knight f4, knight b5, g4. And now after takes, knight d4, the game is just over. I could also just play takes, but knight g4, the point is that if you go queen g5, I can just take. It's complicated. I can also just go check and take here, or take here. Completely dominant position. But of course, because chess.com is an amazing platform, the site crashes and I lose the game. And I lose 11 points because of that. How amazing. So next, we're going to go through some of my Title Tuesday games. We'll start with this one. We'll go through all of them quite quickly. So I played him in the first round of last Title Tuesday, and I played this move h6. And you'll see the big difference. So normally it's h5, and they go, here you play bishop 2. But the critical point behind having the pawn behind h6 instead of h5 is that let's say the pawn was in h5, and I continued like this. And then there's sort of a hook, and he can start attacking this pawn, and then it's easier for him to open up the king side. But with pawn on h6, he has to go g4, h4, g5, and it's quite hard to organize an attack as quickly. So I continue with my plan. Bishop comes d6, a5, bishop I'm threatening to go queen here, knight e3, knight d5, king e8. Now I attack the pawn, I take a free pawn, and eventually some tactics, double attack, and I win the game. Yeah, I can turn off the sound. The YouTube Zoomers might be very triggered by this. But everyone in the chat, you guys can say hi to YouTube. Then we'll look at my second game. The second game was very interesting. It was a French. He went queen b6. The point is that it's actually a piece sacrifice. So after here, you go c4. And the point is they play cd, you go b4. Knight takes b4, bishop takes b4, bishop d2, and it's basically a piece sacrifice. It's a bit complicated, but I chose to go for a3. Obviously, if you take now, knight a4, the queen's trapped. So he takes, bishop d2, I go knight b5, protecting the knight, a6, b4. So I've sacrificed the pawn, I go queen d3. I sacrificed the pawn, but I have the bishop pair. Knight d4, bishop d4, queen e3. Now I go queen here. I should go queen b3. But the point is I'm going bishop d3. Knight c5, castles, rook f3. Again, I want to go rook d3 and f5. He takes, goes b4. I just completely missed rook c8. I could also go rook g3. And if rook takes, now I go rook c1. Let's say the queen moves, I go f5. And I'm really attacking. But I decided just to simplify things. And we get to this endgame, where basically everything is equal. But I have some flight pressure. So I go d4. I'm putting some pressure, threatening f5, maybe, attack on the dark stars. He plays g6, creating some serious dark star weaknesses. Queen h4, rook f2. I'm sort of moving around, rook f7. And now I'm threatening rook takes, because if takes here. But now I give a check, I cut off the square, and I'm threatening mate, checkmate. And then I lose a terrible game, because I just trapped my queen. It's absolutely ridiculous. Everything is going well. I'm outplaying him. I have a great position. And then suddenly, my queen just gets trapped. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. So that was a massive choke. Then I play against a 2150 player who's very impressive. I played quite poorly in the opening, and we get a position where I'm like down a queen, and finds this insane move, knight takes 3, and we're going back and forth, and we make a repetition. Then I go on quite a bit of a heater. I win 1, 2, 3 games in a row. So my opponent plays I play my system. Sort of solid game, positional game. I have the 2 bishops, putting pressure. Eventually, I break through with a tactic. Then this game was very, very weird. Like, my opponent surprises me with queen e7. I've never seen this move before. Really forgot that this move existed. And then, like, we get an end game. I'm just getting outplayed. And then he disconnects. And I win on time. So I don't know what that is. Then this game I'm playing against Robert J. Fisher. I'm getting a terrible position. He's outplaying me. And in this moment, I should just play knight f4. Like, I'm just a complete idiot. I go back, he goes f5, and I'm just done. I'm just toast. And this position is just so lost. But slowly I'm defending, I'm bobbing and weaving, I'm attacking, he's low on time, and he blunders his queen. Like, I'm just dead lost, but he just blunders his queen. Okay, what to do? Queen d8 is game over. Check, check. GG. Oops. Then I make another draw. This guy finds some insane tactic. At this point, he sacrifices the piece. It's the only move, really. And again, I just want to lose the game. If he goes h5 takes, I'm just made it. It's going to be very bad. So it's just a repetition. And then I win, and I'm close to making a comeback. This was a nice game. It was a Najdorf, very typical piece exchange sacrifice. Can I review? But I have so many games, so I want to go faster. A bc3, I sack my thing. Then I get d5. Queen's coming to c5, king h1, queen c5. He sacks and goes queen g3. I go rook d8, f6, bishop queen f8, prophylaxis, bishop d5. I'm trying to trade. I take h6, and I just sort of slowly but surely trade the queens, and I win the game. And then unfortunately, I lost this insane game. I blundered to go to the critical moment. So here it's just very stupid. Like, I just blundered this. So I just missed that here it takes. So I should have, of course, like here I should not waste time with rook a8. I need to be in time to go, like when he's here, I need to be here to sort of cut off the queen from the attack. And then I'm fighting, and I have a great position. And in this position, I just blunder my piece like a complete imbecile. And then, of course, being completely lost in the last game, like I realized that in endgames, I'm a really good endgame player. So I try to sack the piece. I try to make it all interesting. We have a dry position. I overpush. I'm just much worse. Suffering, defending, surviving, trading. Suddenly, we get to an ending game. The king runs. I win a pawn. They win the game. So endgames are easy. And now I was just playing a match. So I started this match at like 31-58. And I absolutely crushed the order, but this last match kind of ruined it. So let's see some cool games. Yeah, this was a nice game. I want to show this tactic. There's a really nice tactic that I want to show. And this is it's an important thing for resiliency. So at this point, I saw that if I play bishop d5, the most natural move is to play bishop a4. Let's turn the engine off so you guys can figure it out. So after bishop a4, you guys can pause the video and try and think like what the best move is. Because I saw this in advance, like in a split second. It's a good, train your tactical awareness. And so you're probably watching. So I saw that I take and I go here. And now the rook is trapped. Obviously, rook d7. I take here. So here is a check and I win. So this was very unfortunate and I won this game. And this was another very nice game. He played the Smith-Morra. I'm just sort of going for a hedgehog setup. I break with d5. The reason why I played d5 is usually like if you play d5 here, there's no taking. because the knight is covered. So knight f5, bishop b4. Bishop d4 takes. He takes and I take. He just blunders this. I get the 2 pieces for a bishop. I come back. He tries to sack. I check. I bring the queen in, trying to attack. I trade. I simplify. Okay, I'm just pushing my pawns up slowly but surely. He's trying to get counterplay. But now I go for this pawn. I've got 2 passers. And I could play like a2 here. And then this, obviously I can go like this. And I'm winning. But a very, very calm move. King f7. Just getting behind the pawn. Once I'm behind the pawn, it's only a matter of time before these pieces just run. So this was a very nice game. This one was also, this is a good example of showing how to keep pressure. So we're playing this, he plays this line over and over again. I have to check it. Yeah, I could just take this pawn, but I didn't want to. So this was the nice. I go a4, e5, bishop g5, f5, take, h5. Well, this is actually a good game. I take, and d4, wow. Like he played CD, a quick f6. Wow, I just played a high-level game. Oh, I should play c4. Wow, guys. Look at this move. c4. Shoot. And if here, just bishop d3. Wow, that's insane. So I play the more reasonable, and we get this position. But again, in blitz, you really have to keep... So I win this pawn, and I have a minute into 36 seconds. So if you guys are online blitz players and trying to improve, especially if you're playing without increment, you need to learn how to massage the position, how to marinate your advantage, to let it slowly grow and build up. You know, it's a very important chess skill. You know, to really massage the position. You know, it's very, very slow. So I'm moving, I'm going. You know, we're bobbing. You know, a little Chekaruski. You know, waiting for the perfect moment. So then I'm like, okay, I need to go g4. Okay, slowly, I'm waiting, f4. Okay, now I'm improving. The queen comes in, the bishop comes in, and now he blunders. He doesn't understand basic, principles. He has to go back, He goes to king d5, I go here, and king d4, I get the opposition, and good night. Obviously, if you go here, I go f5, takes, and the king runs. And you can't go here because now I can also go here, but I can just go f5. Oh, never mind. I go here, sorry. The pawn is here. Now I got king here, opposition, and then I go in and I win everything. So that's a very nice game. So obviously, Theodoru is quite low rated. Usually Theodoru is around 3,100. So the fact that I could farm him at 3,030, and my rating should be 3,180. But chess.com robbed me of 17 rating points. So I've filed a report with chess.com. This is another nice endgame. I was really beating Milan. So we go for this endgame. Everything's trading, boring, blah, 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 blah. And eventually, he makes a cardinal mistake. If you're going, when you guys push your pawns like this, you need to be very cognizant of the consequences. So he goes here, I get the knight to b7. And suddenly, this a5 pawn is a serious weakness. So now I go rook h6. I go here. Now I'm waiting, and now I go c5. Point being that now I have rook d6. Go c4. It's quite a close position. It's not easy to win. You go a5, b3, king b6. So he lashed out a bit with knight d5, obviously just losing. But king c3, king b5. He has to go back. Now I can go king b4. Now I go c4, a3. Again, once I take this pawn falls. And if that pawn falls, the pawn's just running. So he's just sort of in zugzwang here. Very bad. So eventually he goes here. And I could play king c6, but I choose e4. The point being that if takes, obviously d7 here he can't take because of push. But obviously here, obviously now I could play king c7, but this is queen union check. So that's game over. So obviously to get 3,200, you kind of need to get the right opponent. I lost a bit of rating to Dania, but I'm sure I'll get it back once I have the right opponent. So in this video, you probably will include the Gotham Chess React as well, just for me to discuss the situation in a simpler form. So thank you guys for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And by the way, I stream on Twitch. Title Tuesday, some tournaments. You can check me out on Twitch. And this is day 7, Junior World Chess Champion. I really hope that this continues until day 1000, if it takes me that long. And see you in the next video. Get out of here, guys.
My friends, we've got another chess drama on our hands. This one has to do with the St. Louis Chess Club and Hans Niemann. Long-time watchers of my content, those of you that enjoy some Gotham chess might be surprised that you're on this channel. That's because this is all happening pretty late in the evening here. And this is my second YouTube channel where I want to start posting a little bit more frequently, where I just sit back like this, I talk about some sort of issue in the chess world, unfiltered, unscripted, between 8 and 15 minutes, whatever, and I give you my opinion, which usually is balanced and fair, and I try to see both sides of things. Let me know if there's anything else you want to cover. I'm going to go into the candidates, I'm going to go into FIDE, this is the first video of this type. Anyway, Hans Niemann obviously was at the forefront of the whole Magnus thing, which actually did happen at the St. Louis Chess Club, but today this happened. As you see, I have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of sports stuff and Syria trending on Twitter. The St. Louis Chess Club said, put out a statement that said, the St. Louis Chess Club is committed to providing a world-class environment for all levels of chess players to play and enjoy chess. At our competitive tournaments, participants are expected to adhere to an agreement that outlines expectations of the players, etc. After consideration of recent events, St. Louis Chess Club has made the difficult decision not to extend an invitation to Hans Niemann to participate in any invitational tournaments organized by the club in 2024. This decision was based on his demonstrated inappropriate behavior, including damaging private property, rude comments, and an uncooperative attitude resulting in a failure to fulfill contractual obligations. This decision was not made lightly, etc., and hopefully it serves Hans to experience personal reflection and growth.
Like, I'm sorry, but this last sentence, I hope I experience personal reflection and growth.
Okay, so I have no idea what the hell this is, right? Like, I saw this today and went, excuse me? Like, so Hans is banned from invitational tournaments. I think what that means is tournaments like the Sinfield Cup, they have a lot of classics, they like to invite a lot of strong players. I think he still is eligible to play the United States Chess Championship, which I don't think is an invitation.
Yeah. And I will.
I think the United States Chess Championship is purely by qualification. But I don't know, they didn't specify. So, 3 things led to this, okay? Inappropriate behavior, which includes damaging private property, rude comments, and an uncooperative attitude resulting in a failure to fulfill contractual obligations. 3 things.
So let's
contractual obligations, rude comments, and private property.
So let's go through it step by step. So the contractual obligations, it's quite ironic that this is used. So basically, I did not do one interview. So I declined one interview. And because I declined one interview, and it's included in the contract that you must do an interview after every single game, they're saying I violated contractual obligations. Obviously, there are so many players after being upset after a game decline an interview. They were not banned for, I apologize. It's like, it's not a big deal.
Destruction of private property, damaging. Okay, so I don't know what, I have no idea what any of this is about, so I'm just like you, and I started looking at the facts, right? Like, Hans immediately tweeted, I'd like to immediately clarify on how completely inaccurate this is. I will be posting a full detailed video. Did not do it, and a full video explanation will come out, which he then did post. And he posted this. It's a 20-minute video. Essentially, he's saying, one detail absolutely clear. I received no invitations to events before I regrettably caused damage to my hotel room. And in the video, he basically says as follows. I'm going to paraphrase.
It's actually amazing today. So St. Louis alleges communication issues from Hans. Is that just made up? So that is not just made up. That is extremely hypocritical because they're actually the ones who have been unable to communicate with me. So over the past year, and they have ignored emails, calls, so many attempts for me to reach out. They have completely been uncommunicative and impossible to reach. So that is just really not just a lie, but just hypocritical.
It's a 21-minute video you can watch. Essentially, Hans says, over the last year, since the Sinfield Cup, Magnus Hans, right, September 2022, which is when the whole infamous Magnus Hans game happens, he's been trying to reach out to the club multiple times. He says that he's failed to get a response. They did not invite him to any tournaments last year, despite there being people who are lower rated than him. He named Sam Shanklin, Grigorio Parin, as well as other players who are older than him, like Jeffrey Zhang, Ray Robson, Sam Sevian. This is all in the video, so I'm paraphrasing. I hope I'm going to do it justice. He's not getting invitations to these events, and that was before the incident. Now, in the video, he says, after the United States Chess Championship, there was a moment where he lost multiple games in a row. He came back to his hotel room and broke a couple of things. Says damaged a couple of things. He said there was a remote. There may or may not have been a lamp. A couple of things were damaged. He paid a fine. He apologized profusely, paid the fine, and was given a 99% assurance that he would be allowed back in the hotel itself, and then by extension get a conversation started with the club about getting reinstated.
So let's make something very clear, guys. After I was banned from the hotel, I was never told by St. Louis Chess Club that I was banned, right? They only decided to put an official ban in 2024 when I was trying to reach out to them to ask why they didn't invite me to any tournaments. So they only decided to make this public ban because I was going to go public about them blacklisting me. So they have been banning me, but they were too afraid to do it publicly in the past because they had no excuse. So essentially now that they have this excuse, they're hiding behind it when in reality, they're banning me for other, commercial financial reasons.
For invitational tournaments. Now, when I first saw this, right, this was always the concern about the cheating scandal. The concern about the cheating scandal is that when the fallout settles down, sure, Hans will be popular and he will get followers and he can make content and all that. Will chess organizers invite him to their events? Because unfortunately, by the way, separate discussion point, unfortunately, most of the chess world is based on invitations. That's how it's always been. You're invited to tournaments. Very few tournaments in chess.
And you need no excuse by invite, but when people of low ratings are getting invited by me, it's a merit system,
Elite level are open, meaning open to 50 people, 100 people, 200 people. Which is what Hans has been playing since 2022, 2023. Hans goes to these opens, plays a lot of underrated players, loses rating points, where he could just be getting these invitations, but the concern is after the cheating scandal, he won't get them because people are going to assume that he's suspicious. That was always the concern. And that's a problem in and of itself.
Only big, okay, I won't
can't get invited to elite tournaments at the St. Louis Chess Club despite being higher rated and younger, which is a good combination in chess, because of everything that happened. Whether or not that's justified, whole separate thing. Whether or not Hans is guilty.
Of course it's not justified.
Right, like I've always said in all of these things, the only person that knows the extent of the wrongdoing.
I think it's been proven pretty clear that I'm innocent.
Hans Niemann is Hans Niemann himself. That's the unfortunate reality that we live in. You can't drug test, you can't blood test. You get these stats, sure. But Hans has said time and time again, he made mistakes in the past when he was a teenager online in meaningless games. And he's 100% clean over the board chess. That's what he said. But you can understand where organizers might be hesitant, and the invitational model is a problem in and of itself. Now, let's recap. So Hans plays the US Championship 2023, breaks a few things in his hotel room, tries to contact the club like.
So it seems like, so guys, I have a question. So now that we know that Irina Crush kicked the wall, like broke a wall, like a hole in the wall, is that not important information? Don't you guys think that's a double standard if she also damaged, serious damage, and she didn't even have to pay for it herself? Isn't that a very interesting contrast of how, I'm sure if you look at the history of 10 years, there's people who've damaged, but they haven't been banned because of it.
Like 20 times, multiple occasions, apologizing, asking for a second chance, finally getting a response essentially that says, we'll consider. We're sorry we haven't responded.
So basically, Levy misinterprets a clear thing of the timeline here. The time that I found out that I was uninvited from events in 2024 was publicly. They released a public letter without telling me anything. They sent me a private letter at the exact same time that they posted a public letter. So this was news to me, just like everyone else.
To you, it wasn't a priority, and now they just went public with this. That's what Hans says in this 21-minute video, which is here on the screen. That's what he says.
Okay.
And I listened to that, and I was like, "What? That is crazy!" Like so many things are spinning in my head. Now,
rude comments. Like, come on, there are no rude comments, guys. I'm sorry. Rude comments are a complete figment of their imagination.
And by the way, the next thing that I'm going to show you, I wasn't going to show you, but then Hans responded to it. Like, I'm not a Reddit megaphone, all right? When I see theories and this and that, like they're unverified, I'm not just bringing them here. This is not like a Reddit react. But then Hans reacted to it. And he tweeted this about an hour ago, and he said, "It's funny to see employees of chess.com push this narrative." And basically, there was a random Reddit comment, like an anonymous Reddit Twitter space. Basically says, "It's well known that Hans totally destroyed a room."
Yeah, and this is all false. No Marbler. No, nothing of like serious value was broken.
So look, it seems like when the St. Louis Chess Club was talking about destruction of private property, Hans broke stuff. It was on the 6th floor. Again, I don't know how he knows that, or she knows that. And
was it on the 6th floor? I don't think so. It wasn't on the 6th floor. No, I don't think it was. It was on a lower floor, and I paid for it exactly. And do you guys want to know how much I paid? Okay, well, it was. But the thing when I say how much I paid, it makes it sound worse than it actually is. But I would say that when I paid, the actual value of what was broken was about 10% of that. Okay, I was fined $5,000, but the value of what was broken was at maximum 500. Maximum 500. If I'm being completely transparent, maximum 500. Like there's photos and there's there's a full report. No, like the damage that was done It was not, $5,000 was completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. I'm not sharing photos, but the point is that the value of what was broken was not close to that level.
And he's banned for life from ever stepping foot in this. So you read all, this was posted. P.S. I live in St. Louis. It's well known here. Okay, so I guess stuff like this does get around if it's local. I've not heard of this. This is not some told by the manager of guest relations that the chase I broke was a 90%.
Yeah, so this is a very important point as well, right? So I was told by this is like the most important thing, guys. So I was told that there was a 99% chance that I'd be able to return to the hotel. And 3 days later, I was told that my request was denied. So I want St. Louis to publicly address whether they intervened with the hotel to make sure I was banned. Because my personal opinion is that if the hotel says to me, there's 99% chance, and then they ban me, the only reason that they could have had such a change of heart was that if someone intervened. And the only person that could have intervened was the club.
I would be allowed back, and the official confirmation would be spent via the email the next day.
Why care about getting back? Because they're using this as an excuse to blacklist me.
3 days later, my request was denied, and they haven't replied to me since. I broke TV remotes, a lamp, and an ironing board. Additionally, the glass frame of a painting was shattered, which, according to the hotel, pierced the couch and caused damage. As I've apologized many times to the club and hotel, I thought I could put this behind me, but let's not forget that I received no invitations from the St. Louis Chess Club before the incident. They are trying to make this about my supposed pattern of behavior, when this is just their attempt at covering how they have not invited me to a single tournament in all 23 and won't in 2024. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. Let me summarize that for you. Hans is saying the St. Louis Chess Club was going to blacklist him and lead him on and not respond to him.
I have the incident report right here.
Just like they did in 2023, all of 2024. Hans is saying that because of the fallout, he didn't exactly say
okay,
this.
So there was, I will explain to you. So there was a lamp. Okay, a lamp was broken. Then there is a glass that was broken from a painting. The glass was on the couch. From the pictures I see, no damage to the couch was done. Then I see one remote was broken, a phone was broken, a second remote was broken, an umbrella was broken. Okay, and some food was left. So, and I was charged $5,000 for this. So I was charged $5,000 for some glass, a lamp, and some broken remotes, an umbrella, and an ironing board. That's not $5,000. Okay, that's not $5,000 at all. That's like that's a complete, like I didn't break a hole in the wall. No, I did not break a painting. The painting is unbroken. I have a photo. So the painting is unharmed. If you can see, the painting is unharmed, but the glass frame of the painting I was broken and it fell onto the couch. But it's glass of a painting. You can replace a frame. This is not like I'm breaking like marble and tiles and like taking a hammer, like I would say that the maximum cost to replace is $500. $500 maximum. And okay, okay, fine. Also, let's say this. They have to take 2 days or 3 days to replace it. So they can't rent the room. The room is about $250 per night. So maybe another $750, and then maybe the $5,000 is like they're profiting from this, that is like. And I will also say another thing, guys. I also offered to pay a security deposit anytime I would stay at the hotel. Like I said to them, like, let me know. I will pay a security deposit of any amount just to stay at the hotel. I will sign a waiver. I will sign whatever you want,
The most prestigious chess club, one of the most prestigious chess clubs in the world, and definitely in the United States, which puts on the most prestigious events like Sinfield Cup, like United States Chess Championship, is not going to invite Hans Niemann, who right now is the strongest junior player in America. So he's 2,700, he's 20 years old. And we're going to do that regardless of what happened last year at the US Championship. And he's saying that the incident, particularly with the destruction of property, is it's just kind of like a decoy. I mean, it's like a scapegoat.
Of course, it's a complete decoy.
Here's what I have to say.
Of course, okay. Let's see what he has to say.
Wow, I don't even know where to start. I think a good place to start is, I would like to think, you all kind of feel this way. I would like to think I have the optimistic stance of, and I've said this time and time again, you can screw up a certain amount of times in life as a young man or woman, right? Like you can be a teenager, you can do some dumb stuff. We need to get dumb stuff out of our system so we don't do it at a time in life when we're already in a high position or we're old enough.
But the thing is, guys, is that as a sportsman, like let's look at. Of course, I'm very sorry. People say I'm not apologetic or I didn't apologize or I'm not. I seriously regret my actions. But like, I'm sorry, but if I did this at the chess club or I did this during a game, or imagine I was playing a chess game and I went to my opponent and I took their king and I broke it in half. And then imagine I said to my opponent, let's go to the bathroom and fight. Imagine how that, I think I'd be banned, no? Like imagine during the game, I just took, let me show you. Imagine during the game, on my modus clock, I just took the king and I was like, breaking her king, and I said, let's go to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom. Like, on live camera. Like, imagine like what would have happened to me, you know? You know? Like, let's be honest here. This is, you know, why did they blacklist me in 2023? Why did they suddenly they have so many unanswered questions, you know?
Like, really bad things can happen. You have to be able to screw up several times, hopefully within a limit of legality, and like get your punishment, learn, and improve as a person. And I just don't know how this, like, how does all the craziest stuff in the chess world happen to Hans?
Well, I wonder where it all started. I wonder what I did.
Like, I'm sure he's not the first player to break something in a hotel room. I'm sure he's not the first chess.
Well, now we've discovered that Irina Krush picked a hole in the wall, and the club paid the damages for her.
Player to rudely say some comment to somebody, not give an interview.
Didn't say rude comments, sorry.
We've seen people do that. We've seen the best players in the world. We've seen Magnus do that. He doesn't do an interview. And he just, and that's fine. But how is it always the biggest stage and the biggest spectacle with Hans, like, at the forefront?
Because Levy, guess what? There are people in the chess world that have unchecked power and no accountability. So they become emboldened to do crazy things.
And I have always held out hope. We're going to put a lot of this stuff behind us, and Hans is going to move on being like, I'm the bad boy of chess. I'm the villain of the chess world.
Why do you all call me the stupid bad boy of chess? It's just a stupid name.
On my journey, which is 100% legitimate, and I did some stupid stuff when I was younger, but I'm going to go kick some ass at some chess tournaments, and I'm going to document it, right? But then there's stuff like this, And it's like watching one of your...
I'm sure that if I was like a basketball player or a tennis player, they'd be calling me like, wow, he's so passionate. He just loves the game so much. Like, if it was any other sport, they'd be calling me like, wow, he's young, but he makes a mistake. He's just passionate. He loves the game. He's going to really use this passion and harness it in the right way. Any other sport, other than this stupid fucking boring chess game, like they wouldn't interpret it like this, grave sin, like you guys really think, like, if you watch real sports that people actually like to enjoy, you think that they'd be villainized for some stupid, passionate mistake?
Your favorite athletes time and time again get into something. Like, I look at this, I'm like, come on, how has nothing come out about like Prague, Vincent Keimer, Dodger Becker, like, how is it Hans, damn it, that breaks like thousands of dollars worth of stuff in property? You know what I mean? And it's like,
I would say 500 in value.
Like, he's gonna apologize and he's gonna move on and everything, but I just wish it would stop. Like, I'm being serious. I wish this didn't exist. I wish Hans would just go play tournaments and win.
I wish that I wasn't attacked by everyone. I wish that I could play chess normally.
And talk trash and document his journey, and this type of stuff didn't weigh him down. I'm like tired, like I'm emotionally, I'm drained. Every sport has a bad boy, a bad girl, but like, mostly, like tennis, Kyrgios, I'm pretty sure is like the bad boy of tennis, and like all this stuff, and I don't know, like what other sports, all right? You always got like an athlete that's like constantly like, oh my God, not again. And this is Hans in the chess.
Yeah, Draymond Green, yeah, like, for example, all these basketball players are getting in fights. They're like, all these basketball players are going to strip clubs and doing all this stuff, and what? Like, who is that basketball player who was on Instagram Live with a gun? Who is that guy who had a gun on Instagram Live? It was still Ja Morant. Like, you have Ja Morant, like Instagram Live, like look at me, I'm so cool,
Space, and if you stay at a 5-star hotel at a prestigious event, you can't do this. Like, should he receive a lifetime ban?
Come on, Levy. Levy, a lifetime ban. Come on, let's be honest here, Levy.
Or a 2-year ban, or I don't know. But this is, yeah, you stay at a 5-star hotel if you destroy enough stuff, and if we're not getting the whole truth, like, nobody has said anything in response to what Hans has said, so we don't know the extent of it. But if we're not getting the whole truth, then, yeah, I don't know, maybe you do just get a lifetime ban, and then the St. Louis Chess Club doesn't invite you. Now, we could have a whole separate conversation about, is it fair or not that Hans is going to get less invitations because of the cheating scandal? That's a separate video entirely. And it's probably not fair, and it's probably not good in the chess world. We rely purely on invitationals. It's probably not a good thing.
I like you, buddy. I like you. I like you. I like you.
But that's how it is, and I don't know how we're gonna possibly change that, but it seems like the St. Louis Chess
We'll change that by challenging people with ubiquitous power.
Club did not want to invite him last year. That is fair, because even before this happened, they were not inviting him.
Fair? I don't know about fair. I think it's quite. It deserves some criticism.
I think in his words. And yeah, I mean, if they were looking for an excuse, they got a pretty good excuse now. Not to mention, there's a whole other component of all of this, which is St. Louis mishandling what happened last year with Grandmaster Alejandro Ramirez. That was a big story last year, and that's also worth a separate talking point conversation. And that was mishandled, and now there's such a strong reaction to this, which is causing a lot of vitriol being shot back their way. So the summary of this for me when I saw this is, it sucks that in the chess world we have an invitation-only ecosystem, and it sucks if Hans is not going to get invitations to places. You know, if he is legitimate and he's going to have a legitimate rise to.
What do you mean if he is legitimate? Or what if I have a legitimate rise? It's been proven by FIDE, by chess.com, by everyone that my entire over-the-board chess career has been legitimate. So I don't like this wording. Why don't you say that it is legitimate and it always will be legitimate? Like, it's been proven by even the people who completely hate me that I'm innocent.
The top 20, top 30 ranks in the world, and he's working hard and he's documenting it. If all of those things are true and accurate, it sucks if the scandal.
Of course they're true. When has there ever been a time that it's been proven by anyone that's not proven inaccurate? Are you kidding me? FIDE report, chess.com, like even chess.com, who's not, it's not in their best interest to say that, to said my entire over-the-board chess career has been clear.
Scandal is going to affect that. On the flip side, Hans has to get it together, man. You know, I'm not, I'm not going to be the ultimate authority in giving advice out here, but this has to stop. There has to be like less distractions. There has to be less BS. Because when you have stuff like this weighing you down, this is just, I mean, it's got to end, or else it's going to be really difficult to capture a consistent audience and fan base, and then get invited to places to play. All right, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get it together. I've been like kind of rooting for the guy because I feel for him. The last year must have been completely insane, you know. But this sucks, man. I'm bummed. I'm bummed to see this stuff.
You know, honestly, them banning me publicly is actually not even a blow to me, and I'm actually happy that they did this because first of all, it shows how powerful chess institutions abuse their power. And I would have been banned anyways because they were instituting a shadow ban. So for me personally, there's no difference between a shadow ban and a public ban. So this honestly has no effect on my life or tournaments other than motivating me and invigorating me and showing the world, you know, how great my story will be when I overcome all of this.
Stuff, you know, like I've thrown my phone after a chess game or two. Like, you know, we've all slammed things or broken stuff in anger, punched something in anger, threw something in anger. But yeah, this sucks. And I don't know if the combative stance from Hans is gonna pay off in the long run. Having said that, it's a shame if he is being not invited to stuff because of a scandal. But if it's a mix of a scandal and his behavior, Hans, something's gotta change. I feel like, you know, being the bad boy it might pay off in the long run, but I don't know. I don't know if it will. So crazy news. Absolutely insane. Today was a wild day in the chess world. There was a bunch of other stuff that happened too, which I will talk about. But that's my opinion. That is my opinion. And I don't know. I really feel like if Hans can't figure it out soon, if he can't stay like a consistent course of action, his words, his behavior, his actions, if it's all over the place like this and there's constant stuff being thrown out, I don't know. Maybe he'll be just fine, but it bums me out. Bums me out a lot. That's all.
Let's change the good guy persona, guys. I'm just myself. There's no persona, okay? Like 2 days before this, I'm donating to charity, and people are saying I'm such a great guy. The next day, suddenly I'm a terrible guy. You know, like people's perception of me is only based on their actual perspective. You know. Like, you know, if I donate $10,000 to young chess talents all over the world, you know, I'm a bad guy. If I donate $1,600 to, you know, Nigerian kids so they can have health insurance on chess, you know, it's a, I don't, you know.
Those are my thoughts. I think this is the part where I say goodbye in the video. Let me know yours in the comments. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So many hotels.
Stupid ads.